girls, I want you to turn to page 6 in our book, and the title of the story is called The Big Box Fix-Up. And I want you to look down here because before we start, we're going to go over some vocabulary words together that we're going to see. So this word we know how to read, box. And I just wanted to remind you that if you're talking about more than one box, this is how it's written, box. And then we add an ES at the end, and we say it, boxes. Another word we're going to see that we've been learning is this tricky sight word, said. Ms. Lerman said, "You are doing a terrific job today." Okay, another word is two smaller words smushed together. And the first of the smaller word is this word. We've seen it before, and sand. And then we're gonna take this word and put it next to it. Sandbox. Sandbox. Another word we're going to see that's bigger, that has two smaller words smushed next to each other, is this word. We've seen this word before. Do you remember how to read it? Wind. Wind, and then I'm going to add this word behind it to make a larger word, which has a different meaning, windmill. And we're going to read and hear about a windmill. And one more word that we've seen before, but just to review, is this word. It's one of our types of boxes. It's a big word, and it's the word blanket. So we're going to keep our eyes open to see these words while we're reading today. So, in the book, the story, The Big Box Fix-Up, we're going to read 3 pages together today. We're going to start on page 6. So the first person talking is our Superkids friend, Etabetta. Alf and I cut up the TV box, said Etabetta. You can nap in it, but it is not a bed. Etabetta has a mystery for these friends. You can camp in it, said Alf. But it is not a cabin. So Etabetta and Alf made something together, and their clues were that you can take a nap in it, it's not a bed. And their other clue was you can camp in it, but it's not a cabin. Can you tell? So let's see, what do you think they made? This is a bed. Etabetta said it's not a bed. This is a cabin. Alf said it's not a cabin. I bet you they made a tent. And if you look at the blanket that they covered it with, it looks like a tent. Let's keep reading and turn to page 7. Talk is speaking first. Fritz and I got an egg box, said Talk. So now we remember Fritz and Talk got an egg box, and we're seeing what they made. I put sand and mud in it, said Fritz. But it is not a sandbox. Remember, we saw that word before we started. Tuck said, I put seeds in it, but it is not for the robins. Can you tell? So here's the mystery. What is it? Tuck gave a clue of that it's an egg box, so we know that. Fritz said that he put in sand and mud, but that it wasn't a sandbox. Tuck then said she put in seeds, but it's not for the robins. So let's look at our pictures and let's see. Can you tell? So this is something for plants. Could that work? It could. Let's see if the other answers are right or wrong. That's a sandbox. Fritz said it's not a sandbox. This looks like a bird feeder for these robins. Tuck said it isn't. This is what makes sense. Putting a little bit of sand and then mud and then putting seeds and growing plants is what they did with their egg box. Okay, we're gonna read one more page together. Let's turn to page 8. So, I'm gonna actually open this up bigger so you can see both pages. Can you see both pages, boys and girls? Okay. Now, let's start here and read what Doc said. Sal and I got the blanket box, said Doc. So we know that the fixer-uppers are Sal and Doc. I added buttons and a fan, said Sal. Doc said, but it is not a windmill. Remember we saw that word in the beginning? It is like a rocket, said Sal, but it is not as fast. So, what I want you to do is I want you to go back, practice reading pages 6 and 7 and page 8. And tomorrow we'll continue with page 9.